Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel TEAANDART. I hope you all are well. So let's start today's video. So first of all, let's appreciate how beautiful this rose is. So today's video is inspired by Art After Dark Stacy on Instagram. So I will link her in my description. So she has a lovely Instagram account and she has quite a following and she creates so amazing resin art projects. So she made a skull out with this rose and on the back of the skull, so it looks so amazing. So I was so inspired and I wanted to try something different with this rose. So I was going through my molds when this frog just popped out of nowhere and I was so ready to use it. So although this rose is a bit bigger than the mold, but I still wanted to give it a go. So for making this, I'm using a resin by Teexpert. Is 2:1 ratio and it's a deep pour, so perfect for this, and it's bubble free. You get very less bubbles. So I have a discount code available for this resin in my description if you like to treat yourself. And for this rose flower, I will link in my description if you like to purchase yourself from Amazon. So after adding some resin into the mold, what I will be doing is I will be not adding this holographic rose directly into the mold. I will be dipping it into the resin first, so that dipping and some pouring resin on the top, so that I will get no air bubbles. So she also used this rose in a dome, circular dome, and it turned out so amazing. So I'm doing an experiment here. I don't know how this will turn out because I know already that this frog is small. But still, let's see, fingers crossed. So I'm just pouring resin on the top and the back of the flower so that resin goes everywhere, because this is a thin viscosity resin, so it's really helpful and it's going everywhere. So now it's time to add the rose into the mold. So I'm just removing it out of the resin now. So now this comes the hard part here. I tried so hard to fit this rose into the mold here and I tried every way I can. So this took me some time. It was really not easy because of the resin I poured onto the flower. The flower was slippery. So yeah, a lot of work has gone in between. So here you can see I'm just adding like this, then another way, then taking out again, then putting it again. I really wanted all the petals to make a bloom effect, but it was not easy. So there was time when I wanted to discard this project and do something else, but it was midways and I couldn't leave it. So I did anyways, and I put a silicone on the top and a skull, something heavy to put it down. So after 2 days, I am doing another layer. So now I have just removed the silicone and my flower is somehow stuck into the mold. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm just pouring the black background now so that the holographic pops more. So again, I was thinking to add white or black. So I went with the black because I really don't know how this project will turn out. So carefully I'm adding the black here, but my flower is a bit on the upper side. It's peeking out of the mold. So this project is not going as I want it to be, but still I am not leaving it and I'm doing something with it. And also I'm the reason that I am still going is I just wanted to show you that you can go at last step to see if your project is going in any direction before you give up on it. So some of you might have remembered that I posted on community that most of my projects are failing. So yeah, this is one of them, and I just made this frog and left it because I was already really not happy about it, and I knew that this will not turn out as I want it to be. So I left it and I was making some other things, but then some ideas came in my mind and I proceeded with it. So at the moment, I'm just filling the mold now with the black resin. So as this was not filling up and I just left it like this to cure after 2 days. So this is after 2 days because 2 days I'm saying here is that I use the Teexpert deep pour, so it takes 2 days to cure. So still it's a bit on the soft side. So I will be carefully demolding my frog. I don't want to break its limbs. So almost out of the mold, just a little bit left. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, something I was worrying about, and it happened here. The flower got squished inside, and we really don't know if there is a flower inside. But one thing I was really happy about that how it looks. Just I added a holographic film inside, and with the black, it's looking so beautiful. One thing I need to give credit because it turned out beautiful, but we don't know there is a rose inside. So I was just thinking in my mind what to do with it because it was not level underneath also. So after a long thinking, I saw this coaster that I made from my live edge crystal mold, and this was actually a fail, and I kept aside to do something with it. So I thought, why not make it a base? So I'm just checking on it if I can do something here. As I was telling you that, yeah, like this, it's speaking. So I'm just telling you that never, not always everything comes out as I think. So I just thought to some upgrade it somehow instead of throwing it. So I'm using epoxy sculpt here that I always use to attach my resin creations to. You can use resin here, but the frog was not leveled, so I wanted to put it on an angle here. So you will see in a minute what I was talking about, because this was not going to be on the coaster flat ways. And before I was thinking to make a new coaster and put this frog on top of it, so it will go into the resin and everything will be leveled. But then I thought, why not use something that I have already have and create from that instead of making something new with fresh resin. So here I'm just doing that. I'm using the clay and just leveling it. So when I was putting my frog onto the coaster, it was up from the front, and then I saw this stick that I do collect from my pathways. As I discussed with you that I do collect a lot of natural objects. So this was a tree branch that was covered in a lot of moss, and it was looking so amazing, and it was a perfect fit here. And then this is the stem of the flower that I cut the top part. So I wanted to use these leaves somehow. So this was a great excuse to use it. So actually now I'm turning it into a display piece, and it's looking good now. So again, I'm using my epoxy sculpt here, and I am just sticking it onto the coaster now. So just wait and watch. You will be seeing the final result in a moment here. So I'm just placing the leaves as I think looks good. And this is to show that to all my resin friends and beginners, that you don't give up on a project as soon. You need to leave that somewhere and go to other projects and do them if you think that one of your projects is not coming out as you're thinking it. So this actually what I did here. So in the end, I placed all the leaf on one side and kept the other side a bit simple. So I think it's all done now, and let's see how the final look after it's dried. So this is the final look. I did add some eyes to the frog here. So this is the final look of the frog. I somehow began to love it because it was looking good now.